What's going on, Facebook? This is Lewis coming to you again from Squeaky Clean Commercial Cleaning Company. And what I wanted to do today is to drop a video to kind of explain a little bit about how you set up a game plan for a new account and to come up with checklists to kind of help the account or the process go smoothly. So what we normally do is that when we go to an account, of course you do a walkthrough. And when you're going to a walkthrough, you want to make sure you're as professional as possible. You want to make sure that you're presentable. I don't recommend jeans, but if that's something you want to wear, that's fine. That's what you have. You use what you have available to you, but you want to be as presentable as possible and be as professional as possible at all times, because you have to realize is that the first impression, even though that's you don't normally judge, you're not supposed to judge a book by its cover, but we all naturally judge a book by its cover. So that first impression is that lasting impression. So you want to make sure you're presentable. But when you do a walkthrough for a new account, whether it be residential or commercial, subcontracting, anything like that, you want to make sure that you have a list of questions. And I'm going to put a video out about some of the questions that I kind of ask or have prepared to ask beforehand, so that when you get into the actual appointment, you can talk to the person fluidly. It makes it seem a little natural, or as natural as possible, and you don't sound like an amateur. Whether you're an amateur or not, confidence will get you through the door. So you want to make sure that you prepare for it. So you have generalized questions or specific questions that you want to make sure you ask to kind of help you be able to decide how much this is going to cost, how long is it going to take, how many people you're going to need, and so forth. So with coming up with a game plan, certain questions that you should ask beforehand or while you're doing a walkthrough. Now, when you're doing a walkthrough, you don't want to monopolize the conversation. That's not a good thing to do, from my opinion. Let the client talk as much as possible. You want to be able to understand what their pain point is, what the issue is, because they may have had a previous cleaner, and you want to know, okay, what did that previous cleaner not do correctly to cause you to call me? You see what I'm saying? So you want to make sure that you find out what that pain point is, and that's one of the things that you focus on when you eventually get the account, and then you actually set your checklists and plan so that you are able to actually take that account and actually move fluidly through it. So some of the things that I normally ask, of course, as we go through each room, I specifically ask, what do you want done in this room? Now, normally what they're going to say is sweep, mop, dust, trash. Off top, you're already going to know that's what they want to do. Most rooms are going to be that way, with the exception of probably the bathroom, a kitchen area, a specific, maybe the boss's office or something like that. They probably want something a little more, but you know that they're going to want you to sweep, mop, dust, trash, and if there's carpet, of course, vacuum. So that you already know off top. So when you go in and you're making your checklist per room, you know, okay, well, in this room they want this done, in this room they want that done, and you already have a game plan. So what I do is I already know beforehand those are the four or maybe five things that we're going to do for each room. And then as we go through, I check, okay, room 1 or office 1, office 2, office 3, kitchen area, break area, lobby, and so forth. So you already have a game plan. I know exactly what's going to be done. And this is basically breaking down what your checklist is going to look like. So when you have a checklist, and what I use for my checklist is my go-to program is Google. I use Google Documents and Google Drive, because with Google Documents and Google Drive, as you're making your document, and you have, whether it be a subcontractor or W-2 employees working for you, you have all their information, specifically their email address. So when you make that document, you can make it in a checklist form. You can send it to each individual that works that account, so they have a breakdown every day exactly what needs to be done. They can check it off, and you can see when they look at that document, and you can make sure that they have that readily available for them to either just be able to review it, or they can make modifications and say, okay, well, in this specific location, whether it be maybe the lobby, they're going to need not just sweep, mop, dust, vacuum, trash. They're also going to need the water fountain cleaned and polished. So either you can add that, they can add that, or you can, or either way, it doesn't really matter. But Google Drive and Google Documents give you the ability to do that. So as you're going through and you're actually making your checklist from the walkthrough that you went through, when you finally get that account, and I'll say congratulations now, because I'm confident, you have to be confident when you're going to these accounts, knowing that, okay, you're the best person for the job. There's a reason why they called you. So now you're going to present the best version of you that you can, of you and your company, and you're going to get that job. I firmly believe that. So once you get it, you can break down your checklist for each room, and be able to have a game plan of how long it's going to take. Now, what I normally do with my accounts, which we just got another account for a medical office, research office, and a lot of times what we do is we work the account maybe a week, 2 weeks, depending on how many days a week that account is. We work it, and we get a timeline of, okay, well, this job takes 2 people this long. Now, me and my manager, my operations manager, we work very well together, so we kind of flow. So if we have a job that say we get it done in an hour and a half, we know that every team is not going to flow as smoothly as we do. So we kind of give it a buffer, maybe an hour, 45 minutes, maybe 2 hours. And you kind of give yourself a buffer and say, this is how long this job should take. Now, when you know how long that job should take, that also helps you decide, okay, this is how much I'm going to pay somebody per hour, or you basically know, okay, well, this job takes 2 hours for 2 people to do, but then on this day I have another job, so maybe I need 3 people for this job. Maybe I only need 1 person for that job. It really depends on what your schedule is and how many people you have available for that job. So just to break it down and kind of recap, all you really have to do is have a preparation or be prepared beforehand, knowing that, okay, these are the questions that I'm going to automatically know to ask for each room specifically, so that the client can actually tell you exactly what they want done for each room. And what I recommend doing also is, when you're doing your proposal, have a section where you have a scope of work for each area to be cleaned, and you specifically put in those items or that request that the client wants for each room. So when it comes down to it and anything kind of comes up, you can say, this is exactly what you said that you wanted for each room. Now, if you want something more or something less, then we can readdress or reattack and try to figure out, okay, is that going to change the price or the rate that it's going to cost for us to clean this location, or to clean your account, or not. So it really kind of makes everything, it puts everything in writing, black and white. There's no confusion, and especially do that with residential. You want to make sure you do that with residential cleanings also, because a lot of times people come to you, well, you're supposed to do a deep clean, and I would naturally think a deep clean would be this. Deep cleans to me are more subjective, as opposed to a set specifics of what is to be done. And I've come into that issue before, where I had a church that I cleaned, and he assumed that cleaning the carpet was a part of the deep cleaning, when it wasn't. Cleaning the carpet was something different, but we never put that in our proposal. So his assumption or his perception of what a deep clean was not my intentions of what our deep cleaning entailed. Even though I had it in other documents, I didn't have it in the proposal, but we worked it out and it worked out. But in order to avoid confusion, in order to avoid any type of questions or or unsatisfaction, you want to make sure you're very specific in doing your proposals. So with that being said, hopefully you understand that when you go to your walkthrough, have the questions prepped on what you want to ask to help with your checklist. And then once you get there and you actually work the account yourself or with your team, you can kind of be a little bit more specific on, okay, we need to make sure we do this. We need to make sure we dust the vents. We need to make sure we dust the window sills, certain things, certain specifics that you don't necessarily see when you're doing that walkthrough that you can figure out while you're actually doing the account yourself. And then you can come up with a checklist. And like I said, I use Google Drive and Google Documents to help develop that checklist. Once I develop that checklist, it's in Google. I can send it out to each team member and they can see it whenever they need to see it, and there's no confusion. And then you can still use that same checklist when you go back and you can do inspections, spot inspections, pre-planned inspections to make sure that everybody's on the same page and everybody's making sure that what is required by the client is being accomplished by your team. So with that being said, that's the things that you need to pay attention to from my point of view. Please make sure you like, subscribe, share, all the above. If you like the information, please leave a comment. I would love to hear some of the things that you have questions about, or if you just want to make a comment, whether good, bad, or indifferent, it's good either way. So make sure you like, subscribe, and share. Right now, I've been looking at videos all day of other people that are in CBN, which is the cleaning group that I'm in, Clean Biz Network, which is founded by AJ Simmons. So I've been looking at videos from him and also videos from William Wade. If you get an opportunity to go through YouTube, look up AJ Simmons, look up William Wade. They have very good videos on cleaning businesses. And there are a plethora of other people that are actually doing videos to help us new cleaners, new cleaning companies that are growing and leveling up to continue to grow and level up. So you guys have a wonderful day, and be on the lookout for more videos coming from Squeaky Clean Commercial Cleaning Company. You have a blessed day. Make sure you look in the description below. We have some information, some links that you can go. You can go to one of the links that we're going to have where I'm actually developing a disinfection list for churches, for people that want to get into the church disinfection space. There's going to be a link below to show you what equipment that you can use, the equipment that we use to clean over 60 churches that we've already done in the past year and a half to help them get prepared for their reopening and to also be prepared for continuous services without any interruptions from COVID and stuff like that. So definitely look at the description below, see the links. We also offer one-on-one consultations. I can actually break down some of the programs that we use for our W-2 employees, our 1099 employees, checklist that we use for disinfecting churches. It's a list of things that we have available for you. So follow the links below. Make sure, once again, you like, subscribe, and share, and we'll catch you next time. Have a blessed day.